Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Grab yourself a cup of tea and let's talk some boxing. Now Anthony Joshua has said he will not be distracted in any way or feel like he is missing out by not having Rob McCraken in his training camp at the moment, because obviously Rob McCraken is currently in Tokyo with Team GB. So he is otherwise occupied, but Anthony Joshua is still gearing up to fight Oleksandr Usyk on September 25th. Now, there will be some time for them to prepare together. I mean, Rob McCraken will not be absent for the full camp. He will be returning. So there is the chance then that they can start working on certain things. But nevertheless, there has been a period of time where Rob McCraken hasn't been there. And I mean, I guess in some ways that could raise concerns. But Anthony Joshua has said that basically he won't allow those concerns to affect him in the ring or affect his camp. This is what he had to say. Everyone brings something different to the table. Usyk will bring in Vasily Lomachenko's dad. He works with Russ Anber. I have a list of different nutritionists and strength and conditioning coaches that he will bring in for this fight. He is changing his team because people have a wealth of knowledge. It's been good having a wider team and working collectively. So there we go, that is what Anthony Joshua has explained about his current situation and how much it is affecting his training camp in preparation for Oleksandr Usyk. Now, Rob McCraken can still give him pointers. I mean, there are still ways in which they can contact one another, but I would imagine Rob McCraken's sole focus at the moment is with Team GB. And as I said, there will be a few weeks in there that he can get back and start training with AJ. The good thing is, when AJ says about people have a wealth of experience, AJ decided to bring in more coaches alongside Rob McCraken. So instead of changing things completely and instead of just staying the same, he decided to add to what he already has. And those coaches are still there and present in AJ's camp, which does benefit him a lot because they have been there now for 2 fights, meaning they have spent time working alongside Rob McCraken, preparing AJ for 2 fights, for Ruiz 2 and for Kubrat Pulev. So that does make things a little bit more simple when it comes to Rob McCraken not being there and AJ still having coaches in his corner to get him ready for this contest. The good thing is, Rob McCraken will actually be in the corner for AJ on September 25th. AJ does need to be properly prepared, you know, because this is going to be a very difficult fight, and it is going to take one of those master game plans to find the remedy for Oleksandr Usyk, to find the way to beat him. It isn't necessarily going to be go in there, use your strength, use your power, and just keep him behind the jab. There is going to be a lot more involved in this contest when AJ steps in with Usyk, and that is why it is going to take Angel Fernandez, Joby Clayton, and when he comes back, Rob McCraken, and other members of the team, good sparring partners, and a proper training camp to get AJ ready for Oleksandr Usyk. I cannot stress enough how important it was that AJ went with September 25th, because Eddie Hearn explained that they've been there before where they've tried to have a late replacement or put it back together quite quickly. The Andy Ruiz Jr. fight comes to mind. Things were falling apart when Jarrell Miller got popped, and then Andy Ruiz Jr. just came in and filled that void, and look what happened. This time though, Tyson Fury, that fight fell apart. I mean, it was supposed to happen around August time, August 14th, I believe. Now that fell at the wayside, so Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder were supposed to be fighting on July 24th, which is before the proposed undisputed date. And Anthony Joshua could have gone the same way. He could have been fighting Oleksandr Usyk on, say, August 14th. But they decided not to do that. They decided to make it in September, late September, so that he could have a proper training camp and not underestimate what Usyk brings to the table. So that is very important, that he has had a full camp. It tells you he is not underestimating Oleksandr Usyk, and he will be 100% prepared for the former undisputed cruiserweight champion. So the preparation is going to be key. The little things, the little details, the ability to be able to adjust and have a plan B when things don't work, the ability to be able to dictate certain aspects of the fight, like the pace, like the distance, and the things that he can command with his physical advantages over the smaller man. So that will be integral. It will be a fight that comes down to fine margins, and that means he needs a good 12-week camp to prepare for that kind of game plan. And they are definitely showing Usyk the respect he deserves by taking this fight on September 25th and not patching it back together and putting it on around August time or even late July. So that is important, and it does tell you how much they respect Usyk as a fighter. And I mean, some people could say he might be looking forward to Undisputed. We could be looking at another Andy Ruiz Jr. situation if he underestimates him, after him saying he's seen styles like Usyk before and it's nothing new. But then you can look at the work he is putting in and the date of the fight. That tells you something different. Now, obviously we have Team GB. They are doing extremely well and picking up a lot of medals. I mean, Fraser Clark, I think that it's incredible that he has finally had his Olympic dream, getting a bronze medal. I mean, he probably wanted silver or gold, but bronze will do him just fine. I think that he has done himself proud by going to the Olympics, and it is an inspiring story, really. 2012, 2016, finally in 2021 gets his Olympic dream. I mean, just tells you what determination and commitment can do for you. I mean, it's incredible. He had that cut, but still he went into that fight. And it was always going to be difficult against a fighter who is already a professional, who he actually beat in 2014 in the amateurs. But this guy has turned over to the professionals, got that experience, 8 KOs in the professional ranks. So it was always going to be a mountain to climb, I guess. He has shown a great attitude towards the sport. He has also remained headstrong in his competition on this route to an Olympic medal. I'm excited to see what could happen with Fraser Clark in the future. I don't believe he'll go to another Olympic Games. I would imagine he will start looking to turn over to the professional ranks. He's had that dream now. He has his Olympic medal. Now he can move on to the next stage. It's been tough for him. 2012 not getting it, 2016 not getting to the Olympics, then 2020 we had obviously the situation with the world, which meant the Olympics were pushed back yet another year, but he decided to stick with it because he wanted that moment, he wanted his time to come, he wanted to be a part of that Olympic team, and he has now done that. So it's an inspiring story from Fraser Clark. Anyway guys, what are your thoughts on this? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below. Also leave a like and grab that subscribe button. Thanks guys.